what we had. I drift away. No words, no curves. I'd rather find a universe where we never burst. Hide in the silence till it's over. Hold me closer. I don't know when it's over, so hold me close. In between the lines, let's stay there. In your eyes, I'll hide for a moment. There's so much I don't understand. Could you please take my hand when I drift away? Silence with you. Listen and lean into silence with you. Oh no, I fade out again. Don't know why. This beat in my chest always find a way back. In the midst of what we had, I drift hide in the silence. Hold me close for now, and somehow it's clear. Somehow it's clear. Only close for now, and somehow no words, no curves. I think I found a universe where we never burst.
Here we are. Here you are. Dear friends and colleagues, both known and unknown, it's really a great honor and privilege for me to finally welcome you to World Anti-Bullying Forum 2025. My team and I are delighted and proud to host the world's largest anti-bullying conference in Norway this year. And we look so much forward to these 3 days of sharing research and experiences, aiming to develop strategies to combat bullying on a global scale. And we are going to have a lot of fun. Okay, it is so that bullying is a serious issue that affects many. According to the annual student surveys in Norway, the numbers have increased in recent years, especially among the young ones. This highlights the importance of our work and the need for effective measures early in all sectors and all levels. However, there is another reason for this topic being more crucial to focus on than ever. Looking to the West, the work on the topic of diversity, equity, and inclusion is now banned. And also for researchers, funding opportunities are excluded. The environment of intimidation has created a chilling effect, silencing voices that otherwise contribute meaningfully to this issue, to this cause. The culture of fear and control mirrors the very behavior we condemn in school bullying, only now scaled up to a global level. Actions by global leaders, referred to by some as geopolitical bullying, pose a serious threat to the foundational principles of UNESCO and the mission of World Anti-Bullying Forum. As the UNESCO Chair on Diversity, Inclusion and Education, I want to take this opportunity to underscore just how vital these 3 days are. They offer a space for essential conversations, for building unity, for amplifying our collective voices in pursuit of change on a global scale. I encourage each of you to engage in open dialogue, to listen deeply, and to reaffirm your commitment to anti-bullying work, anti-bullying efforts. Our first keynote today will address diversity and inclusion specifically. We realize that the choice of this topic is really timely, reflecting the urgent need to address diversity and bullying. In addition to diversity and bullying, or so-called bias-based bullying, we have 5 more exciting keynote presentations during the conference, covering the important topics of consequences of bullying, cyberbullying, teacher bullying, social and moral processes of school bullying, and bullying in early childhood education. In line with the whole education approach, this year's forum has made it a priority to involve more participants from early childhood education. We have also worked to include voices from practice, policymakers, and NGOs, and more importantly, from young people themselves. We believe that addressing bullying from an early age and engaging those who work directly with children and youth, along with listening to students' voices, in addition to recent research, is essential for creating lasting change and bridge the gap between researchers, policymakers, practitioners, and young people. I also want to emphasize that we have prioritized a multidisciplinary approach in this year's forum, bringing together experts from various fields to enrich our discussions and solutions. As one of my favorite philosophers, Aristotle, once said, "Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all." We look forward to your participation and contribution to this important cause. We hope you will have inspiring and productive time here in Stavanger, and look forward to many fruitful conversations and collaborations that will arise over these days. Thank you for being here, and let's make a difference together.
First of all, thank you, Professor Hildegunn Fandrem, for your inspiring, welcoming words. Professor Fandrem is Chair of Conference at the Norwegian Centre for Learning Environment and Behavioural Research in Education, the host of this forum, and she is also UNESCO Chair on Diversity, Inclusion and Education at the University of Stavanger. After the welcoming words from Professor Fandrem, you saw and heard a traditional dance from Norway called Springar from Suldal, which is a village in this region. The fiddler, playing the Norwegian national instrument, the Hardanger fiddle, was Dag Hovda Sture. The female dancer was Ingrid Oftedal Gjesdal, and the male dancer was Dag Jostein Nordaker. Now, Dag Jostein is not only a very fine dancer, some of you may also know him as the director of the Norwegian Centre for Learning Environment and Behavioural Research in Education, the hosts of the conference. And this dance was Dag Jostein's way of welcoming you all to the conference and to our region. Both Hildegunn and the musician and dancers were wearing bunad, a traditional Norwegian folk costume. These particular ones are variations of the Rogalandsbunad, which represents the Rogaland region here in Western Norway. And in Norway, the bunad reflects local heritage, craftsmanship, and identity. And it is worn for special occasions and celebrations. And what special occasion could be more worthy of celebration than this conference? So, my name is Brita Rangnes. I am an Associate Professor of English here at the University of Stavanger, and I will be your host during this conference. And it is with great joy that I welcome you all to the World Anti-Bullying Forum 2025, the world's largest international and multidisciplinary conference dedicated to understanding and preventing bullying. Over 750 participants from more than 50 different countries. It is wonderful to see all of you gathered here in this room. Now, what can we expect over the next 3 days? Well, we can expect inspiring keynote speakers highlighting the research field of bullying from different but equally important perspectives. There will be 12 parallel sessions featuring over 300 contributions. We will have the opportunity to visit the exhibition stands and the presenting sponsor lounge with BRP in the foyer. And not least, these days will be filled with excellent social arenas for networking, including the welcome dinner tonight, and some of you will also visit beautiful Flor and Fjære tomorrow. During tonight's welcome dinner, we are privileged to have the marvelous Norwegian artist Mari Boine on stage, and we will also be presenting 3 distinguished academic awards. On Friday, we will have an exciting poster festival, and there will be an award for best poster. You will all get to know the winner, as they will be revealed at the closing ceremony on Friday. But most importantly, a warm welcome to all of you attending the conference. Let's learn, connect, and act together. Give yourselves a round of applause. Now, the next person to take the stage here today is the Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Education at the University of Stavanger, Odd Magne Bakke. The faculty he leads educates teachers at all levels, from early childhood education to primary and secondary school, as well as higher education. The faculty is home to nearly 400 staff members and more than 3,000 students. Professor Bakke has played and continues to play a key role in the field of education, both as a scholar and as a leader. Please welcome Dean Odd Magne Bakke.
Minister, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As the Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Education at the University of Stavanger, it is a true honor for me to welcome you here today. I want to express how proud we are that Norwegian Center for Learning Environment and Behavioral Research and Education is hosting this important conference on a topic that holds such a profound significance in our societies. As the chair of the conference has already highlighted, bullying is a pervasive issue with the potential to cause lasting harm to the children and young people who are subjected to it. At the Faculty of Arts and Education, we are the main provider of teacher education at our university. We believe that teacher education plays a crucial role in shaping the future of our children and young people. It is our responsibility to ensure that future teachers are equipped with the knowledge, skills, and ethical grounding needed to recognize, prevent, and respond effectively to bullying. Our teacher education programs are designed to give aspiring teachers a deep understanding of the complex dynamics of bullying, along with practical strategies for fostering safe and inclusive learning environments. We also recognize that teachers are not only educators, but also role models, mentors, and advocates for the students. That is why we place a strong emphasis on social justice and ethical responsibility in our teacher education programs. We want our graduates to be courageous, compassionate, and proactive in standing up against bullying and support the students in promoting resilience and self-worth. Through our commitment to high-quality teacher education, we aim to prepare professionals who are not only knowledgeable and skilled, but also deeply committed to making a positive difference in the lives of their students. I wish you a wonderful stay here in Stavanger and hope the days ahead will be filled with inspiration, meaningful dialogue, and new connection. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean Odd Magne Bakke, for reminding us that teaching and teacher education is not just a profession, it's a profound act of shaping the future. Now, the next pair to take the stage are the very reason we are gathered here today. Please join me in welcoming Frida Warg, Managing Director of the World Anti-Bullying Forum, and Magnus Loftsson, Head of Research and Development at Friends, the organization that initiated and now organizes the World Anti-Bullying Forum.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. So happy to see you all.
Yeah. I'm like overexcited.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It's such an honor to welcome you all to the 5th World Anti-Bullying Forum here in beautiful Stavanger. Being here together with all of you is both a celebration and a statement. A celebration of the global commitment to the rights and well-being of children, and a celebration of coming together. A statement that we will keep going, even when it's hard. A statement that we believe in the power of global cooperation and research-based solutions.
So, exactly 10 years ago, we at Friends in Sweden, we had a vision. And it was a vision that came not from a single mind, it came from many meetings and many conversations, but we felt a deep need to not just talk about bullying, but to talk to each other and to talk to others. And we wanted to reach out, to bring people closer. But more than anything, we wanted to create a space. And a space not for us to own, but to offer. Where researchers and policymakers and practitioners and young people and advocates could come together. And that idea became the World Anti-Bullying Forum. And 2 years later, the first forum took place in 2017.
And now, yes. And now, standing here a decade later, we are filled with gratitude. Because this forum exists thanks to you. All of you in this room, and many more around the world. You shared the vision, you gave it meaning, you gave it life, and you keep on giving and contributing to this forum. Thank you for that. And we want to extend a heartfelt thank you to the University of Stavanger for hosting all of us so generously this year. It's so much work. Norway has long been a trailblazer in the prevention of bullying. Your pioneering research, your national commitment, and your leadership have inspired so many. And we are proud to continue this journey together.
And as we look to the future, we want to emphasize something that lies at the very heart of the World Anti-Bullying Forum, and that is freedom. The freedom to think, the freedom to research, the freedom to ask questions, especially when we see things differently from one another. And academic freedom is under threat in many parts of the world, and now more than ever, as we know that many of you have suffered the consequences from that most recently. But we will not remain silent. Enhancing the understanding of bullying demands open societies and free minds, and it demands space for truth, space for questions. And believe me when I say that the World Anti-Bullying Forum will always be that space. So let us carry that responsibility together. So thank you again and welcome.
And now we are delighted to introduce our next speaker. As we reflect on why we gather here, it's crucial that we center on the voices of young people, not just as participants, but as partners and leaders. Andre Faoso from New Zealand is a member of the World Anti-Bullying Forum Youth Group, a student at the Yale University, and a core member of the Netsafe's Youth Action Squad. Andre brings a strong voice, a regional perspective from the Pacific, and a deep commitment to youth-driven change. Please welcome Andre Faoso.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Andre Faoso, a member of the WABF Youth Panel and a proud youth representative from Aotearoa, New Zealand. I've been involved in anti-bullying and online safety initiatives since I was 13, first as a member of my local online safety and anti-bullying initiative in my school, and later as an inaugural member of the Netsafe Youth Action Squad. Throughout these experiences, I've been focused on systemic challenges to implementing online safety and anti-bullying initiatives, determined to ensure youth input is at the forefront of any such initiatives, and determined to ensure accountability and action on the side of social media companies and governments. It takes a village to raise a child. That's a saying that that is said in my part of the world. In my village in New Zealand, aiming high and striving was at times undermined or criticized by others. It's a social phenomenon more commonly known as tall poppy syndrome, something I experienced throughout my schooling. Now, entering my third year at Yale University, it's something that I've realized has affected and is something that does affect young people and their ability to interact and socially interact with others. Bullying is a social ill that has implications on the future well-being of young people. With the complexities of today's world, digital and in-person context have merged into one. And alongside this easiness, young people are equipped with the means to find belonging and connection anytime and anywhere. Alongside this easiness, access to safety and support is subject to social inequity. This conference is at the forefront of anti-bullying research in schools and in online spaces. However, what are these perspectives without the voices of youth? This panel that I'm a part of, that I have the privilege of being a part of, represents youth from all corners of the world. We bring extensive experience and we are steadfast in ensuring we represent the needs and experiences of our communities. The youth panel is united in a determination to ensure access, support young people, educate, hold account, and foster methods to address social harm. We are excited to be here to engage with the extensive work being presented at this conference, and I encourage you all to reach out and to engage with us and to speak with us. Not all superheroes wear capes, and to us, to young people, the work being done to address some of the most consequential challenges we face in our formative years is happening at this conference, and it's life-changing, and addressing bullying and social harm is central to this. And our voices too should be heeded in the pursuit of such positive change. Thank you.
A heartfelt thank you to Frida Warg and Magnus Loftsson from Friends, the driving forces behind the World Anti-Bullying Forum. Through your work, you remind us that change actually is possible. And thank you so much, Andrea Faoso from Netsafe Youth Action Squad and WABF Youth Group for your powerful and important words. Let's give them another warm round of applause. Now, bullying is a societal issue that extends far beyond the realms of researchers and policymakers. It affects communities at every level, and addressing it requires collective responsibility and action. Therefore, we also need companies who actively engage and support research, work, and community initiatives against bullying. We are pleased to introduce presenting sponsor of the World Anti-Bullying Forum 2025. BRP is a global leader in power sports products, and in 2022, they launched their Ride Out Intimidation program. With this initiative, BRP takes a proactive stand against intimidation in schools, workplaces, and marginalized communities, demonstrating its commitment to fostering safer and more inclusive environments for all. From Switzerland, please welcome the Vice President of Public Affairs, Government Relations, and Corporate Sustainability at BRP, Elise Ovache-Millot.
To take the stage right after you, André, with such a powerful testimony, but I'll try to make my best. Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm very, very thrilled to be here with you today for what I confess is my very first edition of the forum. I'm Elise. I'm the Vice President of Public Affairs, Government Relations, and Corporate Sustainability at BRP. I would assume that the name BRP may not ring a bell for all of you present in the room today, so maybe allow me to give you a few words of introduction about who we are. BRP is a global company headquartered in Canada, in a village in the beautiful province of Quebec. We count around 17,000 resourceful and driven employees around the globe, in countries such as Canada, United States, Mexico, Austria, Finland, and so on and so forth. As Brita mentioned, we are a global leader in the manufacturing and distribution of power sport vehicles. For the Scandinavian people among you, you might be familiar with our iconic snow scooter, the Lynx snow scooter. For the North American people, or maybe people from other regions, you may rather be familiar with our Ski-Doo snowmobiles, or the Sea-Doo jet skis or personal watercrafts are the Can-Am off-road vehicles. This is who we are. So now you may wonder why I'm standing here today in front of you all, and why BRP chose to be the presenting sponsor for the second edition in a row for the forum. And ultimately why a company with our profile decided to engage in the fight against bullying. Let me bring you in our kitchen. I'm very proud to say that I work for a human company, a company which cares for its employees, for its partners, but also for the community, it engages with. Community engagement is at the heart of our sustainability strategy. 3 years ago, almost day to day, we chose our global social cause. And this is when we announced our commitment to fight against bullying with the launch of our global Ride-Out Intimidation program. Because pictures often say more than words, let me show you a little video just to explain why and how we chose that cause.
BRP is committed to creating a brighter future for our employees, our communities, and our stakeholders through our corporate sustainability initiatives. Ride-Out Intimidation, our global cause. We launched our global cause in 2022, also known as the Ride-Out Intimidation Program. With this initiative, we, BRP, take a firm stand against intimidation on a global scale. As an employer, a corporate citizen, and a strong presence in communities around the world, we have the ambition to inspire and contribute to behavior change through powerful partnerships and activations. Many ask us, how did we choose the cause? It all started with a long process of research, evaluation, and socialization. We needed to find a cause that fits with BRP's DNA and values, that was relevant globally by choosing a cause that touches everyone in one way or another, in the communities where we live, work, and play. That allows us to make a difference with kids and adults. That could be our very own, not a cause that others have already adopted, where our investments and efforts could actually move the needle and generate positive change. And, of course, we wanted to select a cause that had the power to rally and inspire all our employees, dealers, riders, ambassadors, and outfitters. We have been known to do things differently, and this was not an exception. With this cause, we know we can make a difference. We know we can ride out intimidation.
Thank you. Electing anti-bullying as our global social cause was a pretty disruptive choice for BRP, but also in the corporate world. We were obviously newbies on the topic, absolutely no expertise at all. So we made sure to surround ourselves with key experts who could move the needle. We developed a global partnership strategy with larger organizations with a lot of credibility on the topic, but also regional and national partners who are driving lasting impact on the ground. I said we made a disruptive choice. 3 years later, looking back, it was definitely the right decision. We are very proud of what has been accomplished in the last years. We are only in the 3rd year of existence of the program and have already attained key milestones. We have now invested 10 million Canadian dollars, approximately 7.5 million US dollars, into anti-bullying research projects and organizations. We've worked with other 35 partners that deploy resources and programs all around the world, whether digital platforms, on-the-ground anti-bullying workshops, school interventions, conferences, and so on and so forth. With the dedication of our valuable partners, we have managed to an incredible outreach. In just the last 18 months, we've helped more than 385,000 people in more than 15 countries. And we reached nearly 1,000 institutions that benefited from our partnerships. To all our partners, I'd like to take the opportunity to send today a huge message of congratulations for the daily work they are performing, but also for the success of their program. I'd like to also extend to them a very warm thank you for the incredible cooperation experience we've had with them so far, and the feeling they give us on a daily basis that we are on board with them in this journey and in this collective adventure to fight against bullying. By the way, some of these valuable partners are here with us today. They have traveled the world, and you'll be able to hear in the next coming days about their experiences. Naming Abrace, Programas Preventivos, Bikers Against Bullying Worldwide, the Born This Way Foundation, Ditch the Label, Bully Zero, la Fondation Jasmin Roy Sophie Desmarais, McGill University, No Time for That, the Polar Academy, and Vamos Rovaniemi. I'd like to take a few seconds, if you don't mind, to give them a very strong word of applause and pay tribute to their daily work and their successes. BRP commitment to rooting out intimidation goes beyond just investment and funding. We also rally our whole network behind the cause, our employees, our dealers, our partners, our riders, and our communities. We call upon them to engage in key awareness-raising activities, and every time, I swear, every time we're impressed by the way they respond and by the way they commit to the cause. Here is how we rally thousands of people every year, and everywhere actually, to join us and ride out intimidation.
BRP is committed to creating a brighter future for our employees, our communities, and our stakeholders through our corporate sustainability initiatives. Ride Out Intimidation, key moments. With our Ride Out Intimidation program, we have the power to be a global movement that can put an end to intimidation by rallying the drive and passion of thousands of our employees, brands, ambassadors, dealers, communities of riders, partners, and outfitters. To do so, we wanted to make sure that we had a way to truly touch the hearts and minds of all our stakeholders. BRP has chosen 2 dates to reiterate its commitment to its global cause every year. Number 1, Anti-Bullying Day. Every year across the globe on May 4th, Anti-Bullying Day raises awareness and promotes solidarity against all forms of bullying in schools, fostering a safer and more inclusive environment for everyone. BRP proudly partners with a global network of organizations dedicated to anti-intimidation efforts to make available a resource hub designed to equip youth and adults with the tools needed to effectively tackle bullying and to reduce its negative outcomes. Number 2, Stand Up to Bullying Day. Yellow Day, as we call it, is held on the 3rd Friday in November every year. It is a day to raise awareness about bullying. At this time every year, BRP mobilizes all its employees, dealers, outfitters, ambassadors, and all stakeholders to show their support by posting their pictures on social media wearing a touch of yellow, our signature color. For every individual participation in this initiative, BRP donates to anti-bullying organizations in all our business regions. Already in its first year of existence, this initiative quickly became the flagship of the Ride Out Intimidation program due to its impact and constantly increasing participation rate. Every year since we launched our global activations, we have harnessed the true power and potential of our whole network coming together and saying no to intimidation. Join us in May and November as we rally all together to move the needle on this important social challenge. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can ride out intimidation.
My team and I are very humble to be here with you all today. Because no matter our own efforts, we know we are just a small part of the solution. The solution ultimately lies with each of you present here today and those who do similar work in the various regions of the world. we are very, very much looking forward to the coming days of deep learning, insightful exchanges, and creative ideas. Frida, you mentioned the word space several times, if I remember well. Please do not hesitate to visit the BRP Lounge, which is a new space right beside this room, created for the first time at this edition of the Forum, with the view to give us even more space beyond the great sessions planned as part of the official program of the Forum. We'll be very happy to see you there. We have one leitmotif at BRP when we talk about our cause. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can ride out intimidation. In these two sentences, you obviously hear the words ride out intimidation, but you also hear together. So I'd like to conclude by saying a huge thank you for those allowing us to be here today together. The French organization for initiating the World Anti-Bullying Forum movement, the University of Stavanger, and the Center for Learning Environment for hosting us for these days. All of you for being present and working relentlessly to advance such an important social cause. And if you allow me a last personal note, I'd like to say a very warm thank you to my own team, my anti-bullying champions, in particular Braunino and Mylène, who are here today with me, for their deep engagement, the constant enthusiasm, and the incredible energy they show on a daily basis in our ride against intimidation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Vice President of BRP, Eliso Vachemio. We look forward to visiting the BRP Lounge located just outside this plenary hall. It is now my great pleasure to welcome Norway's Minister of Education, Kari Nessa Nordtun. Minister Nordtun has emerged as a strong and principled voice in Norwegian education. She has championed efforts to ensure that every child feels safe and supported at school. She has made it clear that schools must never be arenas for exclusion or fear. They must be places where all students are seen, heard, and protected. Please join me in welcoming Minister Kari Nessa Nordtun to the stage.
Dear all, welcome to Norway and especially welcome to Stavanger, my hometown. The city where we only have like 2 seasons, and that's spring and autumn. But where we do have the label as the energy capital of Norway and Northern Europe, a top culinary destination, and the city where Erling Braut Haaland grew up playing football only 30 minutes away. 36 years ago, Stavanger hosted the ever first international conference on bullying, which was organized by the OECD. And today, I am proud that we yet again are the host city and the host country for an international conference that takes on the fight against bullying, where we are now bringing top experts and practitioners together to find new solutions to improve the well-being of our children. Today, I want to give a special thanks to the Center for Learning Environment of the University of Stavanger and all their partners for organizing this important conference. In Norway, we have a long-standing traditions for both research and practical prevention efforts in the anti-bullying field. The Learning Center's work over these years has been an important part of this, and we continue to see concrete results of their methods in helping children all over Norway. This year, the World Anti-Bullying Forum is bigger than ever. Today, as you all heard, we are welcoming over 700 participants, including some of the world's top researchers, kindergarten teachers, school teachers, kindergarten and school leaders, politicians, and organizations. All of us in pursuit of the same goal: how we can better research and work against bullying. The value of conferences like this lies in the opportunity to exchange updated knowledge. It is a place for inspiration that comes from bringing our common expertise and experience together. Growing up, we know it is important for our children to be challenged, to experience some resistance, to be allowed to try to handle things on their own. But to create safe, supportive, and inclusive environments for them to do so is one of the most important tasks we have as adults. At home, in kindergartens, at schools. This is the foundation of learning for development and for thriving in our society. And as a parent, I think one of the worst things that we can imagine for our child is for them to experience the pain that comes from bullying. Because we know the consequence it can have, both short-term and long-term. Hence, one child bullied is one child too many. Now, as we know, there is a close connection between well-being and learning. Here in Norway, we monitor trends in students' welfare through our annual National Pupil Survey. The results are mainly intended for schools and school owners, so that they can catch negative trends early and address them with targeted measures. Over the last years, the survey shows that the large majority of Norwegian students are happy and feel safe at school. Over 8 out of 10 students in the 7th and 10th grade say that they like school, while almost 9 of 10 upper secondary schools state the same. However, we have unfortunately seen some worrisome trend in the number of students saying that they have experienced bullying. And as I said, our attitude is simple. One case of bullying is one case too many. This is not just something that we simply say, but it's something we have established by law. Our legislation clearly regulates that Norwegian kindergartens and schools have a zero tolerance for bullying and other forms of harassment. The Norwegian Kindergarten Act and the Norwegian Education Act specifically states that every kindergarten and school must work to promote a safe, a positive kindergarten and school environment that promotes health, well-being, play, and learning. But as we know, building safe and supportive environments requires more than just good intentions. It doesn't happen automatically, even when written into law. Although as a former lawyer, this pains me to say. We know that it demands long-term, systematic work every day, every kindergarten, in every school. It takes a time to change attitudes and patterns. It takes collective efforts from each of us and from the society as a whole. And it takes a clear direction from us politicians, a strong message that this needs to be prioritized. This is why the Norwegian government has launched a range of initiatives, which we this year are strengthening even further. Norway has for many years had a partnership against bullying. Here we have organizations representing kindergarten, schools, and leisure activities working together with the government. The goal is to ensure that all children thrive in their environments always free from bullying. And I'm pleased to see that the partnership has contributed to this conference. The Norwegian government has also introduced a national strategy to improve access to support resources for kindergartens and schools, where the aim is to provide better support to our employees and leaders in both kindergarten, schools, and after-school programs. In Norway, we have never had better educated teachers than we have now. The teacher profession is one of the best on continuing and further education across all sectors in our country. And that is something that I'm proud of as Norway's education minister. In 2025, we have invested nearly an additional 2.9 billion Norwegian kroners, almost $270 million in professional development for teachers and school staff. Because to invest in our teachers is one of the most important things we do as a society for our children. Additionally, we are supporting our municipalities by establishing so-called school environment teams. These are teams consisting of professionals with different backgrounds and competence, mainly educators but also social workers and health personnel. Their mission is to support schools in addressing all types of challenges they may have. They are there to assist in tough cases, but also to prevent the cases from happening at all, helping to build a positive classroom culture. And lastly, I want to say a few words about something I suspect many of you have discussed in your own countries as well: mobile-free schools. 1.5 years ago, the central government gave a strong recommendation to local authorities that all classrooms in Norway should be mobile-free. We also said that from the 1st to 10th grade, this should include breaks as well. Since then, 96% of all Norwegian primary and middle schools say that they have mobile restrictions. And the feedback so far has been crystal clear. Teachers say that concentration is better and learning results are up. The students themselves say they are spending more time together, talking, playing football. Some girls told me that they have started to shower after gym class, something they didn't do before because they were afraid someone would film them with their mobiles. We know a lot of the bullying happens between our children happens in the screens and mobile devices. We cannot regulate what they do at home, but we can regulate if they can bring it to school with them. Recent Norwegian research suggests that mobile-free schools have shown results in decreased bullying, especially among girls. Let me be clear, mobile-free schools are not a silver bullet that will solve all of our problems. But I believe it's one important step forward in making our school environment better, and perhaps in our fight against bullying. And also, lately, the Norwegian central government also said that we want to establish a 15-year-old age limit when it comes to social media platforms. This is to help our children to create a safer environment. We are the first country in Europe to actually manage to do this. And this is tough, but we are ready for the fight. Dear all, each of our countries are facing different challenges. We all have our own systems, our own principles, and our own methods. But I believe that we still have a lot and much to learn from each other. The cornerstones of Norwegian education system has always been something we call fellesskolen, or the common school. This is a core principle for us, that all children meet in the same kindergartens and the same classrooms, no matter what their background is, their beliefs, their interests, or the size of their parents' bank account. Securing them all shared common experiences, which in turn builds a foundation of shared knowledge, values, and social understanding. I believe it builds trust to one another across all our differences and gives every child the opportunity to belong and succeed. Essentially, I believe our education system is what makes Norway the country it is today, a people where we trust each other. Dear all, my hope is that this conference, with all its knowledge, experience, and competence gathered in one place, will bring us closer to a world where every child, wherever, feels safe, valued, and ready to learn. Creating safe, supportive, and inclusive kindergartens and schools is a shared responsibility. It requires that we work together. Thank you so much for contributing to this work, and thank you all for being part of the fight against bullying, and good luck with the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Norwegian Minister of Education, Kari, Nessa, Nordtun, for those powerful words. We are so happy that you're here today to address this conference. Now, before we begin our scientific program, the chair of this conference, Professor Hildegunn Fandrem, will take the stage for an announcement.
It is with deep sadness that we share the tremendous loss of Professor Peter K. Smith, a world-leading scholar in the field of bullying and cyberbullying. His invaluable and admirable contribution to bullying research have left lasting impact worldwide, and his work has shaped both academic scholarships and practical interventions. Peter was a big inspiration to many scientists, not only due to his pioneering studies, but also because of his caring personality, his great sense of humor, his flexibility, positive energy, and spirit of living the life. He was actually one of the last ones leaving the dance floor. Everyone who were fortunate enough to work with him experienced both his dedication to the field and also how easily he became a friend. Peter is a role model when it comes to willingness and ability to connecting people and find common ground. His passing is a great loss for the research community. We will truly miss him here in Stavanger at WABF. In memory of Peter, we take a moment of silence. Thank you all. Peter's legacy will continue to guide and inspire generations to come. We stand on the shoulders of giants.
Thank you, Professor Fandrem, for those heartfelt words and for leading us in this moment of remembrance. We appreciate your important tribute as we begin our conference.